All right, everybody. So today I'm going to show you how to make any type of 3D model in Bambu Studio a magnet. I like to design my files to where they're not set to a specific size magnet in case that's not the one you like to use. And that way you have options without doing something complicated. So this will be a simple tutorial on how to make anything a magnet. So these are the magnets that I like to use. They are Smartaki from Amazon, however you want to say it, but they're 10 by 2.3 millimeter round magnets. And I'm going to show you how to make an object utilize something like these or whatever size that you have. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start by right clicking on our model, and we're going to go to add negative part and choose cylinder. Now it's always going to load it up above, kind of flat on the plate. So that's fine. So what we want to do is adjust this model of this negative object to the size of our magnet. So what we're going to do, I always add like a little bit extra. How much of a difference when it actually comes down to the slicing, I'm not really sure, but it works for me. So I do 10.04 by 10.04 and then 2.25 millimeter for this shape of magnet. So it's going to be elevated up in the air now. So I do want to move it down to the plate, maybe below it. And so that way when we go down below here, we can just right click on the model and center it. So that way it's centered along with our model. And then we're going to move it up into our object. So I'm going to move it up until it just goes right there where it's just barely visible. And then I'm going to move it up to the top here. I'm going to Control C, Control V to copy and paste, and then move a second one down because this is a little bit of a larger magnet, as you'll see in the photos. And so now once we slice it, you're going to see that there are some little supports in here because I do like to have them on for mine. And so now once we slice this, we will be all ready to go as far as our magnet goes. And then you can adjust those dimensions based off whatever size magnets you have. Just make sure that you do have it to where that little like gray circle is still visible. So that way that it does end up cutting out the negative part from the bottom and not somewhere inside the model. Now you can also make anything a keychain. So one thing I do is I'll right click, add negative object or negative part, and choose torus. Now this is going to be pretty big, but the size I like to use is 10 millimeter by 10 millimeter, and then usually about 2 millimeter for the size. It's a little bit small, but it works great for the size of keychains that I use. So I'm going to center this, and then I'm going to move that up here, so that way we have it up at the top. And just going to kind of center it there a little bit. Um, Now, one thing you'll notice when you slice it, you want to bring the layer height down to where you can kind of see how strong that little connection point is going to be around the keychain. As long as there's 3 walls, then you're usually pretty good. I've never had any break from just having that little extra, just 3 walls there. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3 on each side. So this one should be good to go. It's a little bit tight sometimes. If you have like a bigger keychain, you can always change the diameter of the object. And then that again, you can make it work with whatever you have without having to modify the actual model itself, which is how I like to design my products.